I don't want to do that. And then let's increase the time, 4 hours, and then some more 10. I think, well, after we sold our things, we might as well go to Whiterun, I would say. I mean, I would love to do some more crafting and refining and improving our armor, but unfortunately I think we cannot. Or maybe we can. To increase. I think health is always a good thing to increase, to be honest. Smithing we can't increase. Enchanting would really be interesting. Enchantments are stronger, but we don't have an enchantment table yet, so I'm not too sure if we should use that up. And that's all good and dandy. Healing we could increase now, I believe. That would actually be nice. Me potions and poison. Yeah, maybe we should have leveled that before we increased that. More damage would be nice. Is there anything else we really need? I mean, fighting wasn't that a thing. We can create sealed weapons at forges, improve them twice as much. We already have that skill, right? Yeah. Never mind. Enchanting would be interesting then. I'm not sure if that's interesting right now. I think we'll go into the archery part first then. Or we do this, because the more we do that as early as possible, the most we get out of it. Especially when we're about to buy. Or more accurately sell the stuff that we just punched together.
Thank you so much for taking care of those things.
And the shop is not open yet. That's open, right? But you can't trade or do anything with them. Which is great. I would keep him here, but this would be more annoying. And actually, maybe we can fast travel. When we cleared this, we... Wait, this is Helgen. Bonchill Passage. We still haven't cleared that one. Should we do that? Question is, does
Cave up ahead. Troubles? Or maybe treasure.
Sven come along? I think this answers it with a yes. And this looks like there might be iron. Silver ore. Well, don't mind if I do then. Still I'm obsessed about animals for leather, but actually we have plenty right now. What we are lacking more is be able to get more ingots out of them. Alright, we got new items, didn't we? We did. Save that one. So, which means for this one, we don't have it here. We get this. Put it into a group here. Nice. should have this. Yeah. What do we need to learn? Let's take a look at the skills. Archery is at 23. So we could level here more if we want to. Of course, if we want to zoom, then we need to do more. Here we can't do anything actually. Casting a destruction spell overcharges the effect into an even more powerful version. Most destruction spells will stagger an opponent when you dual cast. Okay. Shock spells do frost and flames. Because it has to flee if their health is low. Who would want that? Shock damages disadvantage targets if their health is low. Looks useful. Paralyzed, that's more helpful, I would say. Rune Master. Can place runes 5 times another way. That's interesting. Cast apprentice level destruction spells for half the magicka. That's interesting. Cast adapter level half the magicka. Okay. Now this is all just destruction, right? Healing spells also restore stamina. That's useful. Full casting restoration overcharges it. Okay. That would also be useful. Once the day heals 250 points automatically if you fall below 10% health. That's very useful actually. Maybe we should invest here. Which means, but we all need to be able to learn those skills. I'm sorry. We need a lot more. Level 90. Holy shit. Okay, getting there will be taking forever. Either way, let's level magic, I guess. Dragon symbol up ahead. Looking at you gives me chills. Let's be honest. Was there a bear in here? Nope, it was a wolf. We could have gone here all this time and we would have gotten 3 hides. Landed. Can I move? Maybe, please? Immortal blood. Minor healing. That's nice. Heavy armor increased. Last year of the first era. Book 6. Yeah, maybe we should just take that then. But speaking of which, okay, reading we'll do at the end. We'll do some reading at the end. Wonder where that goes and if we can go there. I guess not. Oh, that's nice. Ice wall. Oh. But we have to. I'm using. Maybe. Just hear me out. If we go to 1. Actually, we will stay on 3. But instead of flames, we will equip. And we have magicka stuff equipped. Yes, okay. So now we can heal. which is the skill we actually wanted to increase. Walking beneath icicles is always a scary thing, not gonna lie. Are you telling me we can only get bone meal out of one of these skeletons? Really? You're kidding me. Just one hand. Could we give you a hand, kind skeleton? Okay, this healing does not affect stamina. Good to know. I'm not too sure how to feel about the fact that there is a dragon symbol here. Or a bunch of wolves. But I think we can learn a word here. The question is, who do we have to fight? Just the wolves? That didn't even damage us that much. Barely any healing involved. Troll skull. Interesting. Flawless Yala stone. Well, that can be useful. Oh, Skyrim. Okay. What of Poland? Animal allegiance. Interesting. So we can tame animals now? Okay, the dragon symbol at least goes for one of these things, so that means we can learn words here. I still wonder what we do with the tablet thingy. Right there, dragonstone. What books? Where do we have spells? Ah, wait, I have to go to magic. Magic. Recharge 40, recharge 12. Force pushing it aside. Then shout for help from the beasts of the wild who come to fight in your defense. It's kind of cute. But, I guess we can't use that. Is there anything else to find here? Doesn't really look like it, does it? I mean, we could get some damage by jumping down and regenerating them, but I'm not too sure if that's a smart thing to do. Or if that's a smart thing to do when we have Sven with us. Where's Sven? Oh, he's not there, okay. Now we get fall damage. The thing is, I'm not too sure how much. I don't get that at all. Maybe we should do a little training then. Yeah, walking up there is harder than it looks. Yeah, maybe that's not efficient. I think I have a faint memory that if you jump down too far, you just die. So maybe that wasn't too smart of an idea. Also, I have no idea if Sven can follow us where we are right now. Shit, didn't think of that. That was potentially very, very stupid. Very, very stupid. Maybe if we GP back. And the High King dies, the Charles of Skyrim. It sounds like he's back. Thank you. Okay, so we have more leather or hides with us, and maybe it's 2 PM 20 right now, we can actually sell something. Wouldn't that be nice?
Thank you and me. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Did the value already increase? I'm not too sure. I mean, we could refine that. Don't think it will do much, so I'll actually not do that. Golden necklace, 45. He really is special. Let's say special. Damn, we have so many potions. And so many that we probably don't need. 23, yeah. Wasn't that like at 50 or 60 or something? $60. So he's giving us a little over a third. That's wild. Something I don't want to sell. Stuff, I mean, okay, we sold him so much already. Probably doesn't make a difference. But anyhow, let's see if we can find anything. I still can't believe that we can't make ingots out of the ore. Like,
whatever you need.
who are we kidding here?
Simple and strong.
Was I maybe too polite? No. So stupid, but why not? That is skill in smithing. Can we just steal armor? We didn't learn anything yet, did we? With magical weapons armors. That nice. We should get that very fast. Okay, that's nice. Quest level 60. Holy shit. Advanced armors. Glass smithing. Holy shit. Dragon armor. Ooh, that is like the holy grail of smithing, it seems. Okay, our next level up will at least go in here. I still wonder where we can get the ingots. Okay. We could just craft some stuff. Just to craft some stuff, I guess. What do we... I mean, this is fairly cheap. We just need one. The question is what increases our skill the most, right? So, let's see. So, guess we'll get the most out of it the more we craft, or the more most of this valued. Can make one of those. Why not? Let's get rid of it. Leather and leather strips. We have more than enough for that. Okay, maybe just for some fun, can we maybe improve some of them? that's the end of it. Can we
Whatever you
sharpen
need.
some
Why
weapons?
smear if it's simple and strong. I can forge it.
Where is... I mean, he has ingots. Where does he smelt them? I mean, I guess this is not something to smelt.
You looking for a new blade?
No, no, I'm looking for...
Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff that... Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Okay, what if I sell my very fine armor now? 6 more armor than we did, the one we do. Get 57 and 66 out of it. We sell it to him.
All right then.
What if we sell it to our new best friend? I want to know,
It means
probably
so
not.
much to us to
I
have
think it was
you.
the same for the
Odds and
weapons at
ends,
least, so
that
let's
sort of
see if
thing.
that's also the case for armor and such. No, we don't want to buy... Yeah, it's the same. I think he had more also. Do we keep one? Nah, it's just waste, isn't it? It's so heavy, holy shit. Okay. And that way we also increase
Till
our
next
speech,
time.
properly. Hopefully. Sorry. I had a little pause. I got something to drink, and I think the time changed a little bit. So in case you just noticed that, that's the explanation. But let's go on. The question is, do we just go to Whiterun now? Let's... No. Wait, our quests. Okay, the emptied one is the one that we already did? No? I'm confused. We wanted to do some reading, I believe. Fishing map. Okay, interesting. I guess. But we already read the letter, no? Cleaver to one more vanquishes her oldest enemy. Right, we read that before, the bandit. So we still have to do would be to the knife something hideout. Wherever that is. I have no idea. Rose Tooth Camp, there was something else. Shrine of Asura. Don't think we have anything else yet. Do we still have to find it first, maybe? Okay, but yeah. Lost Knife hideout, we don't know where it is. Telling us to go east. Oh, okay, it actually shows us now then. Okay. I mean, we don't mind having all of them. The only issue is that we don't know which is which, right? That's the only issue. We select multiple things. So... Once we saw that, the Court of Winterhold. Explore Haemon's Shame and recover the Iron Greatsword of Arsing. What's that? We don't know where it is. Okay. Right. But let's get near fire. How is our inventory looking? Okay, it's not too bad. We still have quite some stuff with us. I could give that to Sven. I mean, I think as soon as we get a horse, it doesn't really matter that much anymore. My memory does not deceive me, that is. Accurate depiction of someone sitting down on such a bench. It's always so annoying. Okay, let's sit in that chair. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's read something. We still have to read. I could still sell this one actually. The Book of the Dragonborn. The Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Emmeline Madrine, Order of Talos, Wayan Priory. Year 360 of the Third Era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn. We are of course ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors, but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts, and in this book I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn through the ages. Most scholars agree that the term was first used in the connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when the blessed Saint Alicia was given the Amulet of Kings and the dragon fires in the Temple of the One were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of man, drew precious blood from his own heart and blessed Saint Alicia with this blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alicia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and the undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aelids. Those blessed by Akatosh with the dragon blood became known more simply as Dragonborn. The connection with the rulers of the empire was thus there from the beginning. Only those of the dragon blood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon fires. All legitimate rulers of the empire have been Dragonborn. The emperors and empresses of the first Cyrodiilic Empire founded by Alessia, Reman Cyrodiilic and his heirs, and of those Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to our current Emperor His Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all but scholars and those of us dedicated to the service of the blessed Talos, who was Tiber Septim. Very few realize that being Dragonborn is not a simple matter of heredity. Being the blessing of Akatosh himself, it is beyond our understanding exactly how and why it is bestowed. Those who become emperor and light the dragon fires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires. But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do these things, or was the doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them? All that we can say is that it is both and neither, a divine mystery. The line of Septims have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the simplistic notion of it being hereditary has become so commonplace. But we know for certain that the early Cyrodiilic rulers were not all related. There is also no evidence that Reman Cyrodiil was descended from Alessia, although there are many legends that would make it so, most of them dating from the time of Reman and likely attempts to legitimize his rule. We know that the Blades, usually thought of as the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Akaviri. Crusaders who invaded Tamriel for obscure reasons in the late First Era. They appear to have been searching for Dragonborn. The events of Pale Pass bear this out. And the Akaviri were the first to proclaim that Reman Cyrodiil was Dragonborn. In fact, it was the Akaviri who did the most to promote his standing as emperor although Reman himself never took that title in his lifetime. And of course, there is no known hereditary connection between Tiber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be more than one Dragonborn at any time is another mystery. The emperors have done their best to dismiss this notion, but of course the imperial succession itself means that at the very least there are 2 or more potential Dragonborn at any time. The current ruler and his or her heirs. The history of the Blades also hints at this, although little is known of the activities during the interregnum between Reman's empire and the rise of Tiber Septim. Many believe that the Blades continue to search out and guard those they believed were or might be Dragonborn during this time. Lastly, we come to the question of the true meaning of being Dragonborn. The connection with dragons is so obvious that it has almost been forgotten. In these days, when dragons are but a distant memory, we forget that in the early days being Dragonborn meant having the dragon blood. Some scholars believe that was meant quite literally, although the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales of Dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to steal the power of the dragons they killed. Indeed, it is well known that the Akaviri sought out and killed many dragons during their invasion, and there is some evidence that this continued after they became Reman Cyrodiil's Dragon Guard. Again, the connection to dragons. The direct predecessor to the Blades of today. I leave you with what is known as the prophecy of the Dragonborn. It often said to originate in an Elder Scroll, although it is sometimes also attributed to the ancient Akaviri. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens had been fulfilled and that the advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. I make no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to the mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when thrice pleasant fail and the red tower trembles, when the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless bleeding, the world eater wakes and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. Well, that's a rather outside. Okay. Last but not least, Immortal Blood. Immortal Blood by Anonymous. The moons and stars were hidden from sight, making that particular quiet night especially dark. The town guard had to carry torches to make their rounds, but the man who came to call at my chapel carried no light with him. I came to lean that Movath Pigween could see in the dark almost as well as the light, an excellent talent considering his interests were exclusively nocturnal. One of my acolytes brought him to me, and from the look of him, I at first thought he was in need of healing. He was pale to the point of opalescence, with a face that looked like it had once been very handsome before some unspeakable suffering. The dark circles under his eyes bespoke exhaustion, but the eyes themselves were alert. Intense, almost insane. He quickly dismissed my notion that he himself was ill, though he did want to discuss a specific disease. Vampirism, he said, and paused at my quizzical look. I was told that you were someone I should seek out for help understanding it. Vampires, huh? Who told you that? I asked with a smile. Tessina Grey. I immediately remembered her, a brave, beautiful knight who had needed my assistance separating fact from fiction on the subject of the vampire. It had been 2 years, and I had never heard whether my advice had proved effective. You've spoken to her? How is her ladyship? I asked. Dead, Morvath replied coldly, and then responding to my shock, he added to perhaps soften the blow. She said that your advice was invaluable, at least for the one vampire. When I talked to her, she was tracking another. It killed her. Then the advice I gave her was not enough, I sighed. Why do you think it would be enough for you? I was a teacher once myself, years ago, he said. Not in a university, a trainer in the Fighters Guild. But I know that if a student doesn't ask the right questions, the teacher cannot be responsible for his failure. I intend to ask you the right questions. And that he did. For hours he asked me questions and I answered what I could. But he never volunteered any information about himself. He never smiled. He only studied me with those intense eyes of his, committing every word I said to memory. Finally, I turned our questioning around. You said you were a trainer at the Fighters Club. Are you on assignment for them? No, he said curtly. And finally I could detect some weariness in those feverish eyes of his. I would like to continue this tomorrow night if I could. I need to get some sleep and absorb this. You sleep during the day, I smiled. To my surprise, he returned the smile, though it was more of a grimace. When tracking your prey, you adapt to their habits. The next day, he did return with more questions, these ones very specific. He wanted to know about the vampires of Eastern Skyrim. I told him about the most powerful tribe, the Volkihar, paranoid and cruel, and whose very breath could freeze their victims' blood in their veins. I explained to him how they lived beneath the ice of remote and haunted lakes, never venturing into the world of men except to feed. Olaf Piquin listened carefully and asked more questions into the night until at the last he was ready to leave. I will not see you for a few days, he said, but I will return and I will tell you how helpful your information has been. True to his word, the man returned to my chapel shortly after midnight 4 days later. There was a fresh scar on his cheek, but he was smiling, the grim but satisfied smile of his. Your advice helped me very much, he said. But you should know that the Volkihar have an additional ability you didn't mention. They can reach through the ice of their lakes without breaking it. It was quite a nasty surprise, being grabbed from below without any warning. How remarkable, I said with a laugh, and terrifying. You're lucky you survived. I don't believe in luck. I believe in knowledge and training. Your information helped me, and my skill at melee combat sealed the bloodsucker's fate. I have never believed in weaponry of any kind. Too many unknowns. Even the best swordsmith has created a flawed blade, but you know what your body is capable of. I know I can land 1,000 blows without losing my balance, provided I get the first strike. The first strike? I murmured. So you must never be surprised. That is why I came to you, said Moa. You know more than anyone alive about these monsters in all their cursed varieties across the land. Now you must tell me about the vampires of the northern Valenwood. I did as he asked, and once again his question taxed my knowledge. There were many tribes to cover. Bonsamu, who were indistinguishable from Bosmer except when seen by candlelight. The Kirilv, who could disintegrate into mist. The Rikev, who swallowed them whole. The dread Telbov, who preyed on children, eventually taking their place in the family, waiting patiently for years before murdering all in their unnatural hunger. Once again, he bade me farewell, promising to return in a few weeks, and once again he returned, as he said, just after midnight. This time, Moav had no fresh scars, but he again had new information. You were wrong about the Kirilv being unable to vaporize when pushed underwater, he said, patting my shoulder fondly. Fortunately, they cannot travel far in their mist form, and I was able to track it down. It must have surprised it fearfully. Your field knowledge is becoming impressive, I said. I should have had an acolyte like you decades ago. No, tell me, he said, of the vampires of Cyrodiil. I told him what I could. There was but one tribe in Cyrodiil, a powerful clan who had ousted all other competitors, much like the Imperials themselves had done. The true name was unknown, lost in history, but they were experts at concealment. If they kept themselves well fed, they were indistinguishable from living persons. They were cultured, more civilized than the vampires of the provinces, preferring to feed on victims while they were asleep, unaware. They will be difficult to surprise, Moa frowned. But I will seek out and tell you what I learn. And then you will tell me of the vampires of High Rock, and Hammerfell, and elsewhere, Black Marsh and Morrowind, and the Summer Isles, yes. He nodded, knowing that this man was on an eternal quest. He wouldn't be satisfied with but the barest hint of how things were. He needed to know it all. He did not return for a month, and on the night that he did, I could see his frustration and despair, though there were no lights burning in my chapel. I failed, he said. As I lit a candle, you were right, I could not find a single one. I brought the light up to my face and smiled. He was surprised, even stunned by the pallor of my flesh, the dark hunger in my ageless eyes, and the teeth. Oh yes, I think the teeth definitely surprised the man who could not afford to be surprised. I haven't fed in 72 hours, I explained as I fell on him. He did not land the first blow or the last. Well, interesting. So maybe our author, who was anonymous, was actually a Cyrodiil. Just used that hunter to get rid of other vampires. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. So. Hello. Okay, maybe we can...
I've got your back.
Yes, thank you.
What do you want me to carry?
Everything that I don't need. How about that? This one we'll keep. Ah, it's yours. Okay, I was so confused right now where all my stuff went. Oh my god, that was shocking. Right, I also wanted to sell more venom and stuff, even though was barely any worth. I mean, it's worth a lot, but they don't give me much for it. That's very sad, probably. All books could be moved, I think. Okay, one that we might be able to sell, but other than that, this thing is so heavy, really.
Lead on.
Okay, what time do we have? It's 9 PM, so I don't... Oh, 8 PM, because 1 hour would be 9 PM something. Yep, looks like this is locked. Great. We're not really sneaky, are we, right now? I mean, I want to train our skill by breaking... or by unlocking the locks. But... I'm not too sure if they'll actually work. I mean, it will work, but I don't want to face or fight anyone just because I entered their house unallowed. That would be fortunate. And he's coming home, so we really shouldn't enter there. Hello. Very big house. Maybe it only seems that way. Who's living here? Hot and Gerders. Oh. Interesting. Why would they live so far from... Wasn't Gerda the one? Hello. Stump. Weird, such a cutie. Yes. Why do they live so far from their mill? Confused. Wasn't it? Alright. What we will quickly do is just change the time. I mean, maybe in... I mean, they have to open in 10 hours, right? And sell a few of the potions to get a little more weight off our chest. And then we'll continue another time And finally, hopefully, if I don't get sidetracked, move to Whiterun. So let's get that done.
It means so. It's a fine day with you around.
Thank you so. Take a look.
Okay, I appreciate it. Right. That is nothing to sell. Venom. Okay, we have blood freezing poison. Health and stamina, that is nice. I mean, that's nice. It's just one-time damage, I guess. So I guess that's more efficient, because it deals in total of... I would presume it's every second we get 5 damage, so I hope. Which would also explain the worth. I mean, that's nice, but that's even better actually. We'll sell this. Power points for 10 seconds, and this reduces the... So if we combine both, that would be actually very effective. Stamina. Those we have a lot. I mean, it's not worth that much, but I guess we'll just sell that. Oh. Okay. And more we can't sell. Unless we spend more money than this. And I don't want to... Okay, do we buy something? The thing is with the ring, I'm really not too sure about that. I mean, that's quite nice. Those we already have. Didn't you have a ring also? Maybe I confused that. I mean, that's nice. But then still again, I don't know if you can wear that. The other ones are for head, circlet, so maybe you can wear it beneath it? Do we risk that? Because if we buy that for 1.1k... let's just do it. We spent a lot, so level increase that. So if we would sell that, we would now get... Wow. This guy really is ripping us off. That's crazy. That is wild. Yeah.
Still here.
Alright.
What do you want me to carry?
We can give him all of the heavy stuff. I'm not sure we need this Dragonstone for anything. I don't really want to use this. The other thing, if we lose this, like the ore and such, it's annoying. That's it, right? So let's give him everything that we can. Where's that favoritized? It's not too bad if we lose it, and it's also not too heavy. These we can sell. Torches also will sell too. Books we already did. It's a little wasted. Maybe we could do some more cooking. Increase all of that actually. I think we need a lot more salt for that. So, yeah.
Lead on.
You and me. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Okay, now he has enough gold at least. So we can sell more stuff actually to him. Goat hounds, I don't know. Don't think we need that. The rest I would actually want to keep. I'm not too sure what we need them for. I think maybe you needed the gems for the enchanting. Maybe I'm mistaken also. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's continue selling those things. Restoring potions I will actually keep. That's actually better, right? That's even better. Let's sell these. Okay, generate. That's nice. Potion auto generate stamina. Why is this one better than the other one? Oh, because this one also restores health. Huh. That's not bad. I mean, stamina points. That means they can't attack. Let's sell most of that. Thing is, those we have the most. Armor skill by 10 points for 60 seconds. Can increase the armor skill a lot for a short time, but is that worth it? On the other hand, if you sell it both, we get like not a lot of gold actually. Creatures, people up to level 5 will attack anything nearby for 10 seconds. Yeah, we can sell that. It's actually pretty sweet. Let's sell all of that. Resist fire might be helpful. I'm not too sure what kind of spells or damage the dragons do. If it's just fire, could it also be frost? Maybe, I don't know. So, okay, but we are 150 now weight-wise, so that's not too bad. It's actually fairly heavy. That's completely wasted. Do we need flour for anything? Okay, let's cook first, then we can sell.
All right, then.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you look a little sickly.
Why are you...
Logan, I was thinking we should have a grand sale. Lower the prices by half, maybe get some jugglers. We could attract lots of new customers.
A sale? To attract new customers? Camilla, everyone in Riverwood already shops here. There are no more customers.
That's a good point, unfortunately.
Well, maybe we could go on some sort of trip. Take the wares on the road. Get some new customers.
Dear
Not a bad
sister,
idea.
we talked about this sort of thing before. We sell dry goods. Nothing more, nothing less.
Cabbage. Let's use this because I think we get the most out of it. And oh my god, can you stop yapping?
We sell dry goods. Nothing more, nothing less. The Riverwood trait. My sister.
Tried
A
good.
bit of this and a bit of that.
Actually true. So we would get salt probably from the innkeeper, maybe. Alright. sell that.
Take a look.
And he has enough gold now. We could sell more. The question is what bear pelt, which is his, not ours. I keep getting views by that. That's so stupid. Don't think there's not much more to sell. He's giving us so little for that. That's crazy. But do we get much of it if we carry it around? On the other hand, it's so little, and if the percentage increases, then we get more, which we could actually do right now. On 12. I wanted to. Oh my god! I wanted to increase so much smithing. Wait, red means... Blue means that we didn't skill it yet, right? Aha. 30. That would be nice. And they're both 30 and 50 is crazy. I mean, I don't know if I want to learn all the other types of smithing. That'd be helpful though. Enchanting. New enchantments are stronger. That's nice. I guess we'll get for speech. Oh, we can't actually. Oopsie. Alchemy. That would also be not too bad. And restoration, we could use that. I think archery could also skill. Only deal quite a bit more damage. Sneak, we could also skill again. Total 15 times normal damage. A total of 15 times normal, that's crazy. Well, okay, how much? Level 50, yeah, okay. That's also useful. Sneak attacks with one-handed weapons now do 6 times damage, okay. Noise from armor is reduced, that's... You want to get pressure plate. That's crazy. Crouching stops combat for a moment and forces distant opponents to search for a target. I mean, the other ones are useful with damage-wise, but I'm not sure if we need to skill this if we want the others, so that's maybe not too... Armor ratings would also not be bad, but this is just... Lockpicking, we're doing fine for now. Pickpocketing, don't really want to do that for now, maybe. So we have potions we mix that restore health much as up. That's not too bad. Attitude. Eating ingredient reverts first 2 effects. Huh. Upgraded potion. All positive effects are removed from created poisons. Huh. Yeah, that's one thing. Raising a dead, the question is if that ever use that. I mean, we are close to leveling up, so the question is then, which damage do we go to? Flames are nice, but I think shock of frost is slowing them down, right? That would be actually be very helpful. Destruction spells, a more powerful version. But then... Oh, this is actually level 20, okay. Most destruction spells will stagger an opponent in dual cast. Also not too unhelpful. Questions, what do we go for? Healing spells is nice. I mean, the other ones were also useful. I don't know. Could we also do archery? I'm more inclined to do that. Smithing is also not too much. I need level 60 for that, which would be interesting. We don't really need... I don't go there. This would be also interesting, but this is also so far away. So for now, I guess not. Let's see, for archery, we could skill that actually. Critical shot will also be nice. That's also nice. Move faster. Paralyze in target for a few seconds, okay. Power shot. I was stagger all but the largest opponents 50% of the time. Okay. Can draw bow faster. Okay. Zooming in with bow slows time by 25% damage. That was also useful actually. I mean, I want to keep the bow really. Also, fighting with healing in one hand was also not too bad. Should we go for that? Attacks with war axes cause extra bleeding damage. Dual wielding attacks are 20% faster. Attacks with swords have a 10% chance of doing critical damage. It's with maces. Ah, okay. Protect while sprinting and does double critical damage. Standing power takes you 25% bonus damage with a chance to decapitate your enemies. Crazy. Well. It's my choice, but is it really? Never looked into this. 20% away item weight and value reduce pickpocketing odds. Thief. I'm not sure if I want that though. Ah, damn. Let's stick. I mean, the thing is, if we go to archer, we don't really need the healing and fighting all of that. On the other hand, we use that almost the most, no? Archery is 23. Oh, we use the sword actually the most so far. Huh. But might also not be the most, but gives you a race bonus, so I'm not too sure which that is going into. Might be the one hand who has just a bonus of 5. Let's do more damage, why not? Alright, that took forever.
You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger.
I hope she is talking to Sven. Well, and that concludes today's episode, I would say. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, night, whatever time it is for you. And until next time, when we'll finally make our way to Whiterun.